You're watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Albert Lecture with Andrew Gone on YouTube Live. Good morning. We're coming to you from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, from inside the Travel Lodge Bonaventure, where we've been living as tenants now for over a year as a homeless family who are being terrorized by Donald Trump, coming here unseen, looking like a shadow, wearing a cloak of invisibility that allows him to attack the avatar night and day in different parts of her body, from head to toe, and committing all kinds of federal crimes against human beings. Um, this family, and using the same technology that is now being used to create this global pandemic that has infected the bodies of about 250 million human beings and killing about 5 point something million of them in the process. So we're here sounding the alarm to have you, members of the human race, connect the dots about what's being done to you with the same technology being used to terrorize this family to this day.
Mhm.
And the advertise here. We haven't been on the air in a week or so because we are living in a state of continuous crisis, duress, stress, trauma, and sleep deprivation. But we have work to do, and we have to continue to make sure that we remain alive in these bodies, that we keep our bodies strong, we pay our bills, and we continue to fight the good fight and to create good trouble, as Congressman Lewis said, um, which he did when he served, when he was younger, fighting as an activist alongside Dr. King and company. So, Avatar, um, go ahead and speak to your human relative.
Well, I can hardly speak since they have a tooth here got pushed out here, done by Donald Trump. Pull out a tooth from here, left a big hole, small, got these teeth here small and stuck them out to go on top of this
Mm.
so that it can create this bump here on the lips. Donald Trump has been doing this to me for years, decades in
Yes.
the United States and followed in Canada to continue with a technology given to him by Nancy Pelosi
Mm.
that has vast capabilities and is very dangerous to be using on other people, especially my face, my mouth, my body. He
Mm.
was busy squeezing my body to see if it's gotten loose enough so that he can make it look like um, loose skin
Mm.
in my clothes. This is what he's been doing to me. I've been working out, keeping my body in shape, and he started doing this. After a period of time, I couldn't do that because he was terrorizing my body.
Mm.
He attacked my hair, cut it all off. My hair was down to my waist, as well as our daughter's. Hers
Yes.
is, she still has her hair a little longer, but it's not long as it was before on to her waist.
It's growing back with your help.
Trump is doing this kind of stuff, cutting off our hair, going into our bodies while we're sleeping, using the technology to deform your face, block you from being able to see, lose your eyesight.
Mm.
At least the majority of my eyesight I could hardly see. This is what Donald Trump was doing, throwing things into my eyes
Mm.
and attacking me in the womb, in the rectum,
Mm.
attacking my body in different places,
Joints.
joints, raped our daughter,
Mm.
and was trying to rape me too,
Yes.
when he couldn't get through. This is the kind of stuff that should not be done, ladies and gentlemen. This is what is happening to me for decades now, since in the United States over to Canada, and he's been uh, doing a lot of bad things to other people in the United States.
Hmm.
I when I first came to the United States, I was happy to go and so. And my stepmother wanted me to be the godmother for her daughter, but I couldn't stay to do that. I had to leave. I did not even get to see the
When in
baby
Trinidad, you
when I
mean?
was in Trinidad. Sorry.
It's okay.
And when I came to Canada, to the United States, sorry, uh, I had this Nancy Pelosi turned around and so my little brother, stepbrother, came to speak to the United States government, and he stood up close to where I was and was speaking to Nancy, and she told him that he told her something about something I can't don't know what he told her.
You molested your baby sister.
Yes, but she's the one who told him to say
Yeah, I
that I
know.
molested
I
my
know.
baby
I
sister.
know.
What
That's
he was, I can't remember now.
yeah. That's
Um,
what.
these are the things that has been done, and then comes Donald Trump that she sent with the technology that I was speaking of, that has vast capabilities, and he started using that to attack me in different parts of my body. One, my eyes, throwing things into my eyes when I was walking down the streets around close to where Christmas in the past, and he was throwing things to blind me. And after a while, I noticed that the sight that I had disappeared, most of it, and I could hardly see properly. Words on books and so on. I'm having problems looking to see. I have to wear glasses, and with the glasses, I'm still not seeing them properly. Well, Mr. Trump decided that he was going to use that technology and force himself on my baby daughter, our child. And she's now an adult, but at the time she was a little girl and was harmed. He took her money from her that she had and bought a lot of food and started force feeding her to gain her extreme weight after she had just worked out for quite a few months getting her body in shape. Mr. Trump didn't stop there. He continued to keep coming and using a invisible shield with the
Cloak of
technology that was
invisibility.
given to him by Nancy Pelosi, and he's using it to come in here night and day. He still does. And I'm being touched on the arm. This is the kind of stuff Donald Trump has been doing to me and my family. And he terrorized our daughter. She was a virgin when he started this kind of abuses on our child, and she was scared. This is the kind of stuff that should not be going on, attacking me in all different places of my body.
True.
Everywhere you can possibly, my bones are still open where he has been attacking and abusing. He has moved every bone inside my body and terrorized me with extreme pain. Pull up my kneecaps.
Yes.
Do all kinds of stuff. Cut off my hair. My husband helped me by getting 2 wigs for me. He cut those up too. This is one of them. And he chopped that up, this one up too. And he chopped up the black one and have it looking like a real, I don't know what it is, it looks like anymore, but it doesn't look like the one that he bought for me. And that one was black. And he really destroyed that wig as much as he can. And it was unbearable to wear because to take pictures out in it, I have a picture out in it out there, and it's just ugly. We paid a lot of money for that. And this is what he's been doing to that, the hair, to my clothes, to my body, to my skin. And Nancy Pelosi sent him here to come and do this. And also the people we're renting from, she came and give them some sort of information. I don't know what it is, but I know one thing. Those people hated us. They treated us like we were bad people doing all kinds of wrong things. We did not. We've never been mistreated. After a period of time, the ones who are working here now are saying that we are nice human beings. We were nice all along. We never harmed anyone. We never spent our times degrading anyone.
Yes.
But Trump, when he started his behavior and started abusing me and our daughter, and then brought Mr. Trudeau to do the same to her, That was not nice.
Mm.
He put lines on my face right here. Gave me those lines just overnight, and after that, it never left.
Dark blotches on your cheeks.
Yep, all kinds of stuff.
Yes. One.
Coming and attacking me all, every part of my body, even the stomach and the, as I said, the bones before, and the shoulders. He's now attacking the shoulder. He attacked the shoulder so much that I was in extreme pain, and I still am going through that. He's doing that to me. Mr. Trump should not be allowed the freedom to be able to be amongst people. He does not know how to treat human beings. He only knows to try to kill.
Mm. He's a criminal, or he's a
Yep.
pathological liar. He is a predator, a schemer, a scam artist,
A thief.
um, someone who practices all the vices that people have been told they cannot help practicing because it's supposed to be part of their human nature. Well, he's a poster man child for those vices. He practices them all the time.
Also, his behavior is abusive.
Of course.
It's not helpful. It's not caring. It's not respectful.
Mm.
Anybody walking around saying that Trump should be president again, they're making a big mistake.
Mm.
He should never have been given any presidency, and he wasn't given presidency. Did Nancy Pelosi throw that on him and gave people the impression that he's a president?
Mm.
A president should not be running people's lives in ways in which undermines the quality of the people's lives, and then raping human beings.
Yes.
My daughter fought in the school to keep men from trying to force themselves on her. And now she comes and she finds out that she has to deal with it out of the school system too, and got worse, where she ended up being raped by Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
And then I found out later on that he was raping quite a lot of women.
Oh, yes.
And then he brought Trudeau to help him. And Mr. Trudeau didn't seem like the type that will practice those kind of things, but he had the wrong kind of friend. And so he became a part of it.
Yes.
He pulled him over to force himself on our daughter too. We want this insanity stopped. Human beings have to stop forcing other people to go to work and allow them to train their kids to the point where the children, when they're ready to go into a system, they know how to protect themselves and they would not be persecuted and terrorized by others. The teachers are supposed to protect the children as teachers in how they're treating the children with quite respect, instead of what I've seen with some children, how they were being treated.
Yes.
These children came to the school system so they can learn how to conduct themselves, learn all the qualities and refinement of life for everyone.
Well,
And they're not getting it. They're not getting the training, the care, and the love, the support that all beings are supposed to go to give. Instead, the kind of love they're getting is rape and torment and torture and persecute. Have other kids turn on you, and you're turning on other kids. These things should not be happening.
Yes, bullying.
Yes, and terror to the point where kids don't want to go to the school systems, and they have a right not to want to go. These kids are not trained. They're in the school system and lacking in training because mommy and daddy's busy working, trying to make the money to look after the family, only to find out that the family is going down in another way. That's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to stop. And Nancy Pelosi told Mr. Trump and Trudeau to kill out my family. They kill out a lot of my family, and by the time I turned, apparently all my family are dead, and they won't let me go back to my country to see if I have any family there at all. When I first came, Mr. Trudeau told me I can't leave Canada. Why? You don't own me. I own myself. If I don't feel comfortable in the place that I'm staying in and I'm being controlled and terrorized, why should I want to stay in Canada or even in the United States for what I've been going through? This has got to stop, ladies and gentlemen. He has wrecked my face, took out my teeth, leave big holes, and then, I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Mm.
And not only didn't only do that, they're continuously using the technology to attack and abuse me. I was just attacked in the middle finger by Trump, and then was attacked on the head at the same time and in the back.
Mm.
Now I'm getting a lot of pain in the back because of what he has been doing to me.
Continuous
And
pain.
yes, I want this kind of insanity stopped. I have not committed any crime or harmed anyone, but they have been harming me. And I would like this stopped, and Nancy Pelosi to take that technology that was given to him and destroy it, because they're using it to harm human beings that would ordinarily be behaving properly. They have now turned the children against their families because the families are not training their kids anymore. And those who are training them are not really giving them the kind of training that would help people to be comfortable with each other, friendly and caring and respectful.
Yes.
And then, Mr. Trump, that machine has to be taken out, and he has to put back my skin the way it was and leave it alone. And give me back my teeth.
Mm.
These are criminal charges that was
Crimes
that
being
was
committed.
put on me, done to me for no reason, in the United States and in Canada. I ran from the United States to get out of there. I saw them killing out African people. Nancy Pelosi was at the head of it.
Mm.
When Mr. Biden came from waiting to become president, when he became president, he came to the office, and when he saw me, said that he has an army, as if I'm supposed to be threatened that he's going to use the army against me.
Mm.
I was disappointed. I couldn't believe that Mr. President Biden would have done that, because when I first went there, he and Trump were running for presidency. Only I felt that the person who would be more
Qualified.
for running the society would be President Biden.
Mm.
And he got presidency, but his treatment became unfair.
Mm.
They killed out my family, and when the time came for them to pay the money, and I was also tormented and tortured, myself and our daughter and my husband, in the United States jails for no reason. And then they lied and told the people that I was lying for telling the people the truth about what they did to me and my family. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a place that is going to see people in their best selves, because people are not being allowed the freedom to be their best selves. So they're turning in the ways in which they end up using guns, they're using all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
And that's because they know they're in danger, and the government and the systems are not there for them. What Donald Trump is doing is wrong. And he's done that to many other women and children.
Mm.
We want this to be known so that the government would recognize that this man should not be going up for president, and Nancy Pelosi is a disgrace for allowing him to use that machine to terrorize human beings.
Mm.
Why are we being treated in such a manner, and we have no rights? We can't get any police to help. We could not get lawyers or courts because Donald Trump told Mr. Trudeau, along with Nancy Pelosi, not to pay the money that they owe for when they killed out my family.
Mm.
We want this stopped. We want that money paid, and they will be charged for a lot of money because of what they have done. And we've been going through it all of our lives in the United States and now in Canada. And yet we have done nothing. I heard someone even making a remark that I was a lesbian. Never have been a lesbian in my life. I never understand why someone would go with another woman. But that's their right if they want to do that, and it's legal and it's okay for them. That's up to them. I just don't agree with it. It's really turning their society upside down because they're undertrained and nobody cares about them, especially if they're not their children.
Mm.
These are people who are good people, and if they're trained well, you would see beautiful people all over your world. When people are living through all kinds of hell and they're terrorized and tortured like we have, but they turn out to become people who are scared of anything, and anybody who tries to give them a hard time, they will fight and try to protect themselves because they're tired of all this kind of stuff and a system that does not help them, and people who are undermining the qualities of life for other people by terrorizing and persecuting them.
Mm.
Women, I'm disappointed in you too. You use the television to look into where you see the wife has a husband and then start playing your games. If you really want to live in a better way, that is not the way to do it. Treat everyone with respect and dignity. I could hardly speak.
Mm.
I was robbed of these opportunities. Look at my mouth. From a beautiful woman, they turned me into something that I never was.
Still a beautiful woman, just with a lot of pain and problems from things that have been done to your health, by Trump especially.
Yeah, Trump, yes, but other men too.
Mm.
There are people who are not being allowed the freedom to train their children. And their children grow up being tormented and tortured. And what we see all over the place is tormented, tortured people looking to do the same to other people in the world,
Mm.
like us.
True.
The world must make changes in order for people to grow properly. And governments must stop controlling the people to the degree where the people have no control over themselves, and start paying the people the money if they're working, and mom and dad should not be working at the same time, and they shouldn't be working at all so much because their children needs to be trained.
Mm.
And when you keep them into those systems working all over the place and persecuted, terrorized, you're not going to see good people out there. You're going to
True.
see people who are angry,
Mm.
that could have been good people and will be good people if they're allowed the freedom to be treated right. There are people torturing others all over the world for no reason. They lost their minds because nobody is training them to know how to care for each other.
Mm.
And they take out their angers on other people, like they did with me, like they did with my family.
Mm.
It's time for this kind of insanity to be stopped. Right now, I'm being attacked in the chest,
Mm.
close to the heart. That's J. Trump. That's the person you all want to make president again. Could you believe this? People need to speak out when they know that there are wrongs being done by those that they're giving high level jobs that is causing the problems for a lot of people. No one was born that evil. They
Mm.
became that way through things that was being done to them. And then the parents not training their kids, those kids become warriors outside there and fighting in any way possible, even if they rob other people of rights that they shouldn't.
Mm. Yes.
We need to make a change. We need to have the governments stop controlling the families and let the families train their children. And when they're good and trained and don't need mom and dad anymore, mom and dad could now go off to work if they would like to. And they should be paid properly because they gave up a lot for the whole society by training their children. But right now, they don't have that. The kids are being killers. They're not really killers. They're given guns. They have guns in the school systems now. These things must change, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way you will find decent people all over your world. They're all capable of quality,
Mm.
not tyranny, not disrespect, not treating people like they're junk. No one is junk. They're all born from gods,
Mm.
and they have a right to be able to breathe and treat each other properly and feel safe and help others to feel safe. You won't have the problems you're having today if you allowed the people to look after their family first. Pay them for it, if you will. Because when you're doing that, you're literally helping the family to be able to look after their children and bring them up in a way in which they can connect with others with no persecution.
Yes.
You have to take responsibility as a government and make sure you don't allow people who are doing bad things to get away with what they're doing. It's not right. You're putting everybody in danger when you allow that kind of stuff to go on. We want the government, the public, and all those people who are working too hard and not getting any chance to look after their children to get the first thing they should be able to do is to look after their kids.
Mm.
And if your government is smart enough, they will pay them for looking after the kids, because they will need money to care for their children too. And then when their kids get old enough, they can now go off and work when they're old enough and find themselves. If they have children, they must stay home and also look after their kids too. Because when we do that, we're bringing up people to behave in a way in which is beneficial to everyone. When we leave them to rot and other people to do them in, we're literally doing in the whole society, the world, after a period of time, which is happening now.
Yes.
Start thinking before you act, and allow the people to look after their children if they have any. And if they want ready to work and they do not have kids to look after or no one to look after, then they can do that too. But you have to allow them the freedom to be able to live, to bring their children into the world, protect them, respect them, and then they can go on and work together in the school systems without children behaving badly, because they're comfortable with themselves. They know how they're supposed to conduct themselves. Look
Yeah.
at what was done to me. I could hardly speak properly because of the deformity that they have. Donald Trump, J. Trump has forced on me.
Mm.
And
True.
Nancy Pelosi gave him the technology to use and abuse me while lying and telling people that I'm a lesbian. And then when my brother came to the United States and I was there, I listened. He was saying that his sister was molested. Then she told my brother that I molested her sister. No, his sister. No, I did not. That was my stepmother who had those children with my father, and these kids were not being trained properly. And I was trying to help them in the process of getting to know how to behave properly.
Mm.
We end up seeing those who were not trained behaving badly. But this is not what I really wanted to speak about. My information that I have is being wiped out, but it has been wiped out by Donald J. Trump to make sure that my memory will not have the information that I'm supposed to have from what has been done in the world, what I saw taking place, and what I've been through.
He used an electronic dagger made of light to attack the cavities of the avatar's brain for decades,
Yes.
and managed to dislodge her memory from her conscious mind. So
Using
she,
the technology
yes, and then he comes.
that Nancy Pelosi gave him.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, no. Um, they have been committing these crimes against the God who lived as Lord Jesus, as Lord Buddha, as Lord Krishna, and a number of other gods on this planet. Um, because since she was born, they've been trying to take her mortal life from her using the same technology. And they have taken a mortal life from her 16 different times, according to information given to me by a number of her sister gods. And they've killed about 5 members of her mother's family, extended family, and have almost taken my life from me. Um, attacked me with this technology caused me to have massive strokes.
Yes, I remember.
And our daughter at age 5, they tried to end her mortal life. Donald Trump tried to drown her in a public swimming pool. So,
They tried to kill us in different ways.
oh yes, I mean,
Him, they attacked his heart, his chest, and was trying to kill him.
yes,
Because he is not, because I'm his wife and he wants to control me and get
yeah,
rid of him.
yes,
It did not work.
mm,
And also too, I'm not someone who is going to go with someone who is going to behave like that to the person I love and is married to.
mm-hmm, yes,
And people in general, when they're properly trained, they won't be doing the things that are being done right now.
mm,
What has created this is lack of recognition of the rights of all beings to have their children trained,
mm,
and the parents to be the kind of beings that they were born to be rather than what they end up turning out as.
mm-hmm,
We love all of you. You're a family. But look what my family, some of my family has done to my body, my face, my
mm,
skin. Anything to make sure that they ugly me up because I was
mm,
looking too good.
yes, drop dead, gorgeous, mm,
They couldn't handle it.
yes,
And I wasn't ridiculing or thinking I'm superior to anyone because I'm not. They're my family.
mm,
I love them all. But I'm
yes,
disappointed of many because of how they conduct themselves and the things that they do to other people.
yes,
It's time for this junk to go. It's time for us to make sure our family are trained. And look at that police officer who killed a young man when he ran
oh,
to the car to try to protect himself from being done that to. She shot him
yes,
and then kept saying taser, taser.
mm,
But she knew what she was doing because if she did not know, then it would have been much different.
mm,
People are too anxious to kill because of what they have been put through, what they're seeing in the environment, and all of these things is what is creating this kind of problems for them. People are capable of greatness when you really train them properly and allow them the right to live and grow properly without controls. They don't need your controls as a government. Your government is supposed to be treating people properly, not controlling people.
mm,
You don't own us. We own ourselves.
mm,
But we got to get proper training so that when we meet each other, we're not looking down at each other. As a matter of fact, we're smiling and treating everyone with dignity and grace.
yes,
So let's get back to the beginning, the quality of life. I don't mean in can't remember the word I wanted to use, but
commercial, materialistic,
no, more not thinking you're superior, but doing things in a way in which shows that you care. That
mm,
even if you don't know the person, you're still treating them properly and you're moving on your own without looking to create any kinds of problems. Because when you're trained properly, this is how you behave.
mm,
When you're not trained, you're seeing all kinds of criminals all over the place.
yes. And if you don't have the right information about
Excuse me.
yourself, others around you, the world you live in, and more, you won't have the development you need and the discipline you need and the knowledge you need to live impeccable lives where you don't violate others because you have been taught that you can't help being an imperfect human being.
You were born perfect.
And
The idea is for the family to take over the children that are born through them and train them properly, show them the right kind of love.
mm,
You know, make sure that you're caring for your family and yourself, and everyone is cared for and don't feel left out.
yeah,
When you start taking sides and you start trying to control and take over and do whatever you want, what you're doing is literally setting up all kinds of other problems.
true.
It's important that human beings start uh, training their children, their own kids. And if something is wrong with the neighbor's kids, like in the West Indies, this is what they do. If there's something wrong in the to the neighbor's family, we go and help them too.
Mm.
That's how you do things, not go and look for ways to steal and do them damage and so. But while saying so, I have to admit I did steal something or two in the past. And that
Yeah,
was
you
when I was a
drank
child.
some milk
Yeah,
that didn't belong to
to
you.
me,
That
yeah.
your mother's condensed milk. You went and drank it.
Hmm.
That's really awful, Avatar. Big crime.
Well, you know,
Uh,
children tend to do that, especially when mommy and daddy isn't at home. But if
and you're
when, as I
hungry.
said, when trained properly, these are the things that comes about. You don't find the problems you're having here today, with people being killed, all kinds of bad things happening. That's because of lack of training, and spending too much time treating the people like they're slaves to the job rather than there to their families, bring up their families, and still work a little bit once in a blue moon, not all the time. They need to train their kids.
Mm,
Stop taking away the people's lives and treating them like they're about is money for you, and leaving them starving and going through all kinds of hell.
mm,
Come on. We need to look at what is being done as people who are running a country or living in it. You have to come together. You have to deal with the problems. Get rid of those problems you know that are not working and should not be used. Give people back their lives.
mm,
Allow them their freedoms. They won't be doing these things once they're trained, as I said.
true.
We have gone through so many problems, it isn't funny.
One crisis
After another, and we
after
haven't done
another.
anything to hurt anyone. They've been doing things to hurt us.
You've lived a life of living hell.
Hell, our daughter, when she was
Yeah, the family.
born and grew up,
Yeah,
she too was persecuted, mistreated.
yes,
Not fair.
yeah.
This is not how you live. Taking advantage of people because you can get away with it and think that it's all about what you think about the person, especially when you are behaving like a bad person and you're looking down at another person who is injured by your bad treatment.
Mm,
Gosh, I had so much to tell you,
mm,
but it's so hard not to bring out all these different things that is just so ignorant and weak and disrespectful and
mm,
robbing people of so much of their rights.
yes. And we have mentioned the pandemic that is going on all over the planet in its fourth wave. And now there's a new variant, Omicron or something like that.
If you ask me, people are doing this to other people,
Yes,
and it's time for that to stop.
yes.
Don't do that. You want your family to live. Don't kill other people's families. They're our families too. Your family too.
Mm,
So let's be there for each other and make sure we do the things that are right. Don't think that we are unable to behave responsibly. Yes, we can, and we have done so.
mm,
As this family, we have done that.
yes.
Our children, we have trained them.
Mm,
What we make errors in, we try to fix.
mm,
But we don't go killing people or degrading anyone
yeah,
or think we are
violating.
superior to them too.
Yeah.
No, you don't have the right to be able to do that to anybody. If you don't like it to yourself, don't do it to others. And if you do like it to yourself, it's only because you have been going through it for so long that you think that it's okay to be that way and do it to others too. No, it's not the right thing to do to be done to you or anybody else.
Mm,
On that note, I have to say good luck to all of you.
yes,
I wish you the best. And please learn to love each other, not hate each other.
yes.
And the sickness with the rape and all of that, that will go too. But we have to address them. We have to have it stopped. Not by killing, not by humiliating and degrading, but by showing them in a nice, kind way that they can do better. They
Mm,
can treat each other properly. They can heal the world
mm,
by their own behavior.
yes.
Good luck on your journey.
Yes.
Blessings to all of you. I wish you the best. And remember, you're loved.
Okay.
Okay, darling.
Good night.
Take care of yourselves. And good luck to you. Blessings.